Hi, this is Shop Talk. I'm Pion Tiveros. Dubbing foreign cartoons and telenovelas to Filipino created a demand for voice actors. With this trend continuing, there is a constant need for talents who can make a character stand out just by tweaking his or her voice. In this episode, we'll talk about the art of voice acting and what it needs to break and what you need to break into the industry. In this first segment, we're joined by Pocholo Gonzalez. He's Managing Director and CEO of Creative Voices, and Brian Ligsay. He's Marketing Director and COO also of Creative Voices. Hi, Pocholo and Brian. Thank you for coming back to the show. You were here early January, no?
Yeah. Thank you for having us again.
Yeah, and I remember that time. What we had you guys do was do some of the voices that you've been doing all these years.
We had a very interesting topic during that time because a lot of the response came from people who would want to become voice actors, but we never did talk about the details on how you become one, or how do you break into the business, how do you convert it into a business, because it's your number one product, your voice, diba? How do you take care of your voice and everything? So maybe we can talk about it.
Yeah, pero just a little background muna about you, how you guys broke into the business. Ikaw muna, Brian. You've been in it for 12 years, no?
Yes, in fact, I started out when I was still 16 years old. I started out as a DJ, and when I came here in Manila, nagpalipat-lipat ako ng radio stations.
A DJ where? In the province?
Sa province, so may local radio campus kami doon. And then when I got here...
Saan? What province?
That was Zamboanga City. I'm actually a Chavacano or Zamboangueño.
Okay. Okay.
So when I got back here, in Manila, nagpalipat-lipat ako ng radio station from Cool 106 to Energy FM, former K91 FM, 91.5. And local radio stations in Green Hills.
Okay, and then how did you get into voice acting?
Well, kasi being a DJ requires a different set of skills. During my time, way back in the late 90s and early 2000, ang mga DJs noon, puro mga CDs pa. So you have to, aside from managing and entertaining the people listening to you, you'll have to have skill for controlling everything or programming everything inside the studio or the booth. Kasi one-man job lang yun. Nagsimula ako doing live VOs for events.
Voiceovers,
for events. And then may mga break-ins ako for commercials and radio drama. Nagsulat din ako for,
in other words, it was really your voice that became the passport.
Yes,
you're breaking into the industry. Kasi people would hear you on radio and then say na, oh, baka this guy.
Yeah, I was, my air name was DJ Big Brian during that time.
Okay. So nag-umpisa ka voiceover for live events muna before you did the commercials.
Events, yes,
okay. And the commercials you were doing were?
The commercials varies. Ang dami kong nagawang commercials for telecommunications, for vet products, for soft drinks, for banks. Marami na, samot-sari na.
Pati para sa Pentagon, no?
Yes, you did. Like I mentioned last time,
Defense Department,
hindi naman sila nag-react, but there was an occasion where they actually needed a Filipino voice for one of their materials that will be used in the South. So
in Tagalog?
In Tagalog. Kasi they believe na mas naiintindihan ng Filipino kaysa sa English way back in the South, pero mas marami mo rin mag-English nun kaysa mag-Tagalog.
Okay. And I guess that paid well, no?
Yes,
Pentagon,
it did. Well, it was coursed through an agency abroad. Kasi in the United States, kapag voice talent ka, kailangan may representation ka. Meron kang ahente dun. So, ganun din yung mga talents namin from abroad. Kami naman yung Philippine agency nila dito.
Is it a lucrative business for you?
It is a lucrative business. I mean, if you're really good, you don't spend like 5 to 10 minutes, or like spend 5 to 10 minutes lang inside the studio, and you get to be paid around 15,000 per radio commercial. So that's about 30 seconds. You do 4 times the amount of work you do in a week, then
15,000 for a 30-second commercial, which, and how many times, diba may mga take yun
once, twice?
Once or twice. And then just like that.
Pag magaling ka talaga, I mean, you would not spend a lot of time inside the studio. And voice talents, na magagaling talaga ang kinukuha ng mga advertisers. Kasi they are spending millions, of course, na on airtime, and they want to get the real McCoy for the job, of course.
Okay. And of course, importante din yung, well, we'll go back to that after we get Pocholo's background, a little idea on the background. So how do you do it, no? How do you do it? But, okay, Pocholo, ikaw muna, your background. How did you get into the industry?
Actually, I started here at ABS-CBN during the 1996. Tagal
That's
na.
not too far. Ikaw naman.
96?
Mas matagal nga ako rito eh. You made me feel so old.
Mga 12 years na rin. Sa DZMM.
Oo.
SPIA.
May voice acting competition
Yeah,
pala.
so I'm one of the winner ng voice acting competition. And mostly sa lahat ng mga kasama ko ngayon, like sila Benji Durango, who did the voice of Dao Ming Sir, si Robert Brillante, si Simen ng Mature Garden. Ako yung father ni Sanchay doon eh. Sila Jeff Otanes, kami yung magkakabatch niya na one of the sought after din mga voice artists ngayon.
And wait, when you started in 96, you were how old?
I was 16.
16? Okay. So mga bata pa.
And then, yun, ang title ng programa namin, Radyo. Under Joey Galvez, tsaka May Valle.
And in a way, you broke into the industry through a contest.
Yes.
Competition. But before that, what were you? You were already, you were using your voice.
I'm just dreaming of being...
Dreaming pa lang.
Marinig ko lang yung boses ko sa radyo, sabi ko, ako na yung pinakamasayang tao sa buong mundo. Parang ganun lang ka-simple.
Pero at 16 years old, but you continued your studies, you didn't stop.
No. I was studying in UP Diliman. My course is speech communication. And I took up my master's degree sa UP rin, mass communication. So, tuloy-tuloy na.
Okay. So, kanina, we were talking about, it's important to talk about how you break into the business. What do you need to do, no? So, okay. So, let's begin with how do you develop your skills as a voice talent? I mean, apart from getting all those breaks, before you get those breaks, kasi, there are things you must do, right?
Okay.
Right?
Well, being a voice actor, it requires a lot of mastery ng voice acting eh. You do not become one overnight eh. In fact, it takes many years of practice and hard work. Kami, Troy and I, before we are doing what we're doing right now, like you mentioned, 12 years na in the making kami dito sa business. So, hindi naman namin dinidismaya yung mga iba na gusto mag-voiceovers. Pero you have to be really patient.
Okay. So, in other words, experience is built up over the years.
Over the years. Parang ano yan, it's like taking up medicine, diba? When you're a doctor, newly grad ng medicine, di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng i-compare yung rate mo dun sa mga nagtatrabaho na ng 20, 30 years in the industry. In fact, kahit sino naman tanungin mo, mas pagkakatiwalaan nila yung doktor na mas bihasa dun sa craft na yun or sa field na yun ng medicine.
Okay.
The same thing goes with voiceovers. So, in order for you to get into the craft, you have to be willing to spend the necessary time to practice and learn, research. You can join acting clubs all over, maybe from theater sa school ninyo. You can also do some research on singing. Kasi ang principles, principles ng voiceovers and singing ay somewhat similar.
Okay. Does this mean if you're a good voice actor, you're good singers as well?
Well,
Not
not really. No, not really. Many
Okay.
voice actors can sing, but not all singers are good voice actors.
But we are.
We can sing.
But we are. Sample.
Pantahan.
Hindi, mamaya na. Okay. So, and you can also take workshops, I guess.
Yes,
I mean,
of course. Workshops will do wonders.
these are very accessible. I mean, anywhere in the country, right? Where?
Actually, wala ngang workshop noon
Wala.
before.
Pero kayo, nagbibigay kayo ng
Yes,
workshop,
because
diba?
when I was in the States in 2003, I had a crash course sa voice acting. So I saw the potential of voice acting workshops sa Philippines kasi for the longest time, hindi siya na-professionalize eh. Yeah, there are professional voice artists, but the theory behind voice acting, medyo hindi na top yan. Kahit sa mass communication classes, wala yan eh. So, mass comm ako, kaya alam kong walang voice acting class or subject. Merong radio drama or radio, pero hindi talaga particular sa voice acting. So, that's why we brought yung theory, the art of voice acting ni James Alberger here sa Philippines.
Okay. So, kayo lang ang nag-offer nito, yung workshop.
And
so,
we are the only one na recognized by
So,
now.
these workshops are held every month?
It's actually 4 times a year. Quarterly siya. We have it, kasi the workshop itself runs for 2 months. So, in the entire workshop, nandyan, they will be taught yung mga basics ng voiceovers, how to handle microphones, do's and don'ts inside the studios, how to create voices, how do you make voices, essentially. Characterization, physicalization, everything, all the works. And then meron silang opportunity to dub, of course, dahil may mga dubbing sessions kami inside the studio. And
so wait, you said 4 times a year itong voice acting workshop. So there's one going on right now?
Yeah,
or
there
you're
is
about-
one going on right now.
Okay.
And in fact, just 2 more Saturdays matatapos na yun.
Okay. It's a weekend thing, no?
It's a weekend thing, once every Saturday. Pero hindi porket once lang siya a week, wala na kayong gagawin eh. Kasi
May
in the-
homework
yeah,
na.
may homework. The entire span ng homework nila would entail them doing research on characterization o di naman kaya practice scripts that they should record themselves at home. Tapos pakikinggan namin and then we will of course grade them or critique them in the end. And
So wait, I'm sure people are interested. So
Yeah.
your next workshop will start when?
the next workshop will be on July of I think
First Saturday
First
of
Saturday,
July.
First
July 5,
Saturday
kung
of
mabis-
July, and then eight Saturdays yun,
Yeah,
diba?
8 Saturdays,
8
yeah.
Saturdays. And your fee for this, and where is it going to be held?
It's 8,000 pesos for 2 months.
That's not bad.
Actually, the
Yeah,
good
it
thing
is
about
not bad.
this, the major directors like Danny Mandia, Alex Agkawili, and Neil Erickson Tolentino are one of
Are
our
teaching.
Yes, are teaching. Are teaching.
professors
okay.
and instructors.
Ang aim talaga namin kasi dito is to develop yung knowledge and set it to everyone that voice acting is an art.
It is an art, yeah.
It's you know, it's an argument eh. When people are telling me, hey, how do you become one? Diba? It's like painting. It's either you're born to be a painter or not. Diba?
Okay.
I mean, you can learn the skills of painting, of yung pagpipinta, paghawak ng ng pagkulay and everything. However, kung hindi talaga nandun yung puso mo and yung dedication mo or passion mo dun sa art form na yun, you don't become a painter, di ba?
Yeah. Kaya sabi nga namin, ang isang painter, kahit hindi mo bayaran, magpe-paint pa rin yan.
Yes.
Ang sinasabi namin dito sa workshop lagi, huwag nyo maging motivation ang pera.
Ang pera, oo.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi kayo tatagal dito.
Right.
Napakahirap. Only a few hundreds of people talaga. Mas marami pang doktor, abogado, engineer sa mga voice artists.
Yes.
Even sa ibang channel, mga sila rin ang mga nagbo-voice
Okay.
dyan.
And this voice acting workshop is held where?
It's held in our studio in Makati. It's in we have our studio near Cash and Carry in Makati. It's along
Yeah, in
Barangay
Dian
Palanan,
Street.
Dian Street.
Okay.
When,
So, are you saying that once they attend that workshop, that's the passport already?
No, not
Hindi,
really.
diba?
No, we.
No.
In fact, to tell you honestly, many of the workshops attendees namin, hindi sila nagpupursue ng career in voiceovers.
Oh, because?
Because
Because you
sila-
tell them na
No, we
wala
we
kayong
basically
pag-asa rito.
no, not really. We just
No.
tell them na it's up to you to pursue it. Only you can determine the level of success you want to do in this industry. I mean, many of them are secretaries. We have lawyers, teachers, people in sales who are trying to learn from it. Kasi yung craft, the way you communicate with people and bring about a conversation and deliver lines cleverly is very important eh. It makes you more believable, it makes you more credible. And yun ang foundational voiceovers eh, making it believable and real.
mostly mga marketing people talaga.
Mostly
yung
marketing
mga-
people na pupunta sa
in this present class, you have how many people?
we have 20
20.
students.
Do
Because
you
we're
limit?
limited.
Is there a
Yeah.
limit?
Yeah, there's a limit.
Kailangan 20.
And no,
Sampu
no.
lang. Sampu
Two
lang.
sessions.
Sampu lang
siya.
sana.
Per
two
session
sessions.
is 10.
Ah,
That's the
okay.
maximum.
Yeah.
And how many hours on a Saturday?
Wow,
It's
2 to
3 to
3. Minsan maabot ang 4 hours eh.
Okay.
Per session.
Okay. And ano to? There are some skills that are written down here, like, and I wanted you to just quickly go over it with me. You know, itong warming up your vocal cords, how to
Yeah.
properly put stress on words, the right volume and range, and developing resonance.
Yes,
Ano
well.
yan?
Okay, was first up yung proper warm-up ng vocals. Just like singing, no? Lahat ng mga singers, kailangan nag-warm up yan bago bago kumanta. In the same manner, yung mga voice actors, they have to warm up their voice. Warm up meaning kailangan magbasa ka ng script, ng material, or you have to exercise your cheeks, your muscles and your tongue, kasi those are important factors in delivering your lines.
Like?
Well, one example is whenever you go to a recording studio, bago ka dumating sa recording studio mo, is you will have to read out all the signs that you see. I do that.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Anything you see along the way.
Anything you see along the way. You might sound, crazy
Yeah.
or stupid. Bakit mo binabasa yan? But
Oo.
the point is, you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself because you want to condition your voice to its prime. That when you get to the studio, okay ka na. Pwede ka nang isalang.
Kasi
Okay.
lahat ng mga billboards, pwede mong gawing audio yan eh. Like pag nabasa mo, sakay ka ng MRT, babasahin mo siya out loud. Nakakatawa siya pero it really helps.
It really helps.
Tapos tinitingnan ka na
Oh,
ng
yeah,
tao. Parang,
especially in our
ginagawa
end,
nito.
ginagawa ng mga to.
Pero yun kami.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we
Oo.
do.
Okay.
Oh, that's one.